Let's take a look at how it all went down at the 2021 Rockwell Blast in West Bountiful, Utah. This was the final stop on the PLDA Tour before the World Championships, so you know our competitors were here to give it their all. The 27 players who entered the Rockwell Blast were split into 3 groups of 9 for the opening round. The top 15 are guaranteed a spot in the Sweet 16, while 3 players would head to the wild card to battle it out for that final spot. Our first group came flying out of the gates here in Utah, with 6 different players hitting drives over 400 yards. Among those was Brant DeBoer, who looked strong here in the opening round, winning 2 sets, securing him a spot in the Sweet 16. Spencer McDaniel also advanced thanks to a 400-yard drive in his final set. Joining him was Josh Cassidy, who posted 3 rounds over 400 yards. Our number 1 seed, Justin James, started hot, but lost his rhythm in the final set, where he failed to keep a ball in bounds. That caused James to fall to 6th place, sending him to the wild card round. In the end, it was Martin Borgmeyer who stole the show, winning all 4 of his sets and doing it in style.
It's just amazing to be out here, to be honest. So, I mean, it was such a hassle to get here, and now I'm finally here, and I try to soak it all in to finally compete at the World Championship.
You went through that first set, winner, right? 800 points.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So I'll probably stick to what I'm doing right now, depending on what changes, right? I might try to hit it a little bit higher and a little bit further left.
Okay.
But, I mean, at like 4,500 feet elevation right here.
Yeah, we're about 43 somewhere.
43, yeah. The golf balls go very, very far.
They do. I hit one 416. What was your long earlier?
421.
421.
Yeah, but
very
that
impressive.
was, I mean, that one was 231 ball speed at 1800 spin 14 launch. That must have checked, right? I'm just looking forward to it more. Hit as much as possible before World Championships and then crush it.
The second group of the opening round featured another international star, Hong Hyun-jun from Korea. Jun shook off the jet lag to win 3 of his 4 sets and advance comfortably into the next round. Brian Kelly and Stephen Coyce also advanced, but the crowd was more concerned with local favorite Ryan Riesbeck, who took a break from organizing the Rockwell Blast to take 3rd place in the group. But it was no surprise that Scotty Bierman, winner of the recent PLDA event in Connecticut, kept things rolling here in Utah, finishing tied with June at the top of the leaderboard.
What do you got going? What are your feelings right now?
You know, basically I'm just trying to figure it out, see which ball flights work. You know, I tested a few settings, you know, just tweaking things and seeing what works best. So my longest ball of the day was the first swing of the day. So I don't know how much to take from that, you know, but we're figuring it out. I'm definitely going to have to take it up a notch. The competition gets better from here. You got 3 or 4 of the top best players in the world, and you can't slouch. You have to take it to them. There's no defense in this game.
Taking first place in the 3rd group of the opening round was young gun Zach Holton, who posted 2 rounds over 420 yards. Meanwhile, the swingman, Jeremy Nowak, temporarily opting for a traditional golf swing instead of his signature Nowak step, managed a 6th place finish, putting him in the wild card. The highest ranked player in the group was Josh Koch, but he looked rusty competing in his first event since winning the Carolina Clash back in May. After hitting his first 6 shots out of bounds, Koch eventually found his groove and won his last 3 sets, overcoming tough competition from Colton Casto, Michael Bacon, Scott Littlefield, and Michael Tim.
Hey, that first set, you went OB, and then you won 3 in a row, right? What'd you change? What was different?
Nothing.
Just hitting 7 face.
I didn't top the ball. So I started off with a fantastic top today.
I've done that. Shorts, ground ball to shortstop.
Yeah. I don't even think I made it to shortstop. But yeah, you know, just getting back into competition. Had a little layoff here, so
yeah,
speeds were progressively getting a little faster.
Getting better.
Just feeling a little bit more comfortable.
I like that.
You know, I think with being injured, the biggest thing is just being able to feel comfortable enough to step on the gas. So that's kind of what I'm trying to build up to.
You're talking about the competition being tough. Is it tougher than it was the last few years?
Yeah, it's crazy because we were talking about this last night. I think the quality hitter is getting so good now. You know, back maybe 2 years ago, there was, you know, maybe 5 to 10 guys over 150 miles an hour. Now, I mean, you can pretty much go through a Sweet 16 and have every guy be able to touch 220. So it's crazy where the sport's going. You know, testament to Kyle Berkshire, Martin Borgmeyer for setting the bar so high, Justin James.
What are you changing? Anything?
Nothing. Yeah, my strategy pretty much stays the same. Pick a target, visualize the ball flight, swing hard.
That's good.
Hit bombs.
Hit bombs. Name of the game, hit bombs.
Hitting bombs was exactly what it would take to escape the wild card round, which featured 3 of the fastest swingers of the golf club on the planet. Jeremy Nowak, Glenn Wilson Jr., and Justin James were not expecting to be facing sudden death this early in the tournament, but with only 1 spot up for grabs in the Sweet 16, it was do or die. In the end, it was former world champion Justin James who stepped up and claimed the wild card, sending Wilson and Nowak home early. The Sweet 16 was a bloodbath as veterans Spencer McDaniel and Brian Kelly, along with Ben Knutson and Matt Nicole, were eliminated despite solid performances. Reed Russell is still wondering how it's possible to have 3 sets over 400 yards and still miss the cut. Meanwhile, Hong Hyun-jun also went over 400 yards 3 times, but nonetheless found himself tied with Martin Borgmeyer in 11th place. Both needed to win this final set or they were going home. It was Borgmeyer who came out on top with a 416-yarder to advance to the quarterfinals. On paper, the first quarterfinal matchup figured to be an absolute nail-biter, and it lived up to that expectation. All 4 players went over 400 yards, and just 2 yards separated the winners from the losers. In the end, Scotty Pierman and Josh Koch managed to send Justin James and Ryan Riesbeck packing. The second quarterfinal proved just as exciting. It's hard to believe, but the 411-yard drive from Josh Cassidy and the 420-yard drive from Brant DeBoer were not enough to escape defeat, because Zach Holton and Martin Borgmeyer both went over 430 yards. It was nothing but the cream of the crop in the Final 4. Josh Koch, number 4 in the world rankings, was attempting to reach his 3rd PLDA final of the year. But his 396-yard drive was only good enough for 4th place here at the Rockwell Blast. Scotty Pierman, number 3 in the world rankings, is no stranger to the Final 4, having finished in 4th place or better in 5 different PLDA events this year alone. But Pierman's 409-yard drive left him in 3rd place. So it was the 419-yard drive from Martin Borgmeyer and the 427-yard drive from Zach Holton that put them into the finals. The finals proved to be a battle of nerves, as both players struggled to keep the ball in bounds. Despite this being Zach Holton's 2nd appearance in a PLDA finals, it was only the 3rd professional long drive event of his career. Perhaps the experience on the big stage that Martin Borgmeyer had accumulated over the years was what made the difference, as this drive of 387 yards secured the crown for Borgmeyer and relegated Holton to a well-earned 2nd place finish. Borgmeyer looks ready to go for the World Championships in Mesquite, Nevada in a few weeks. But considering that over 50% of the players here in Utah hit drives over 400 yards, there's sure to be some extremely tough competition. We'll see you in Nevada.